What's up, everybody? We back for episode 3, man. I know you thought we weren't gonna make it, but we here against all odds. Not that many odds, bro. We just here. We consistent. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed the first 2 episodes. If you haven't watched them, stop, pause, go back and check them out. First episode was about Martin Luther King, the doctor, Martin Luther King Jr. Second episode was about Malcolm X, and we are here for episode 3 of the Ladder Podcast. I'm super excited. I'm your host, Justin Strickland. I am the favorite Crew Excellence member, regardless of what your mama tells you. And I'm glad that you're a part of Crew Excellence, which you are now in since you are tuning in, right? Don't forget to like and subscribe for tons of more dope content. Super excited for all the things we got loading up, all the things on the way. Want to give a quick caveat in case you are new. I'm only doing this for the first 4 episodes, all right? So after that, the newbies just got to get in where they fit in. So in case you are new, this is the Hope Institute sponsored. What is the Hope Institute? That is the Helping Others Pursue Excellence Institute, where we attempt to make everybody the best version of themselves through health, education, and whatever else we decide to do, right? So that's what the Hope Institute is. This is the Ladder Podcast. What is that? That is a leadership podcast where we talk about leadership. We prepare you to take the next step in your leadership journey. Wherever you're at, we want to bring you up to step number 2 and keep you moving towards becoming the best leader you can become. Remember, this is episode 3. You got one more of those intros, and then we just rolling, all right? Because now you family, and I ain't got to do all that. You know how it is. First time you go to somebody's house, they get you your drink. By the 4th time, you got to get your own drink because you live here now, all right? So that's how we rolling with the podcast. Super excited to have you. I'm going to go over the leadership perspectives. This is, again, only going for the first episode. So if you don't got it by then, you got to keep rewatching until you understand, all right? So the 4 leadership perspectives we have. We went over voice leadership. That was Dr. King. You want to know more about that? Go check out episode 1. We talk all about it. We went over the royalty leadership with Malcolm X. Want to learn more about that? That was episode 2, okay? We talked all about that, went over that. Then we still got 2 more perspectives to go over. So I'm going to make it easy for y'all. Y'all just going to got to pick between 2 this time because it's not going to be voice or royalty because we already went over those. So you got guru and hero. Gurus lead with information. They're super concerned with organization and details. And then you got heroes. Heroes lead by doing. They get out the plane and get to their business, all right? They about that action. So those are your 2 leadership styles we still have to cover. We will cover 1 in episode 3, and we'll cover the last one in episode 4. But the way we've been doing this, all right, is we've been studying an historical figure, talking about their life, giving you a history lesson. For those of you who've been out of school for so long, y'all need it, all right? I've been giving you some facts and then talking about that person as a leader specifically and what perspective they have, okay? So like we said, Dr. King was episode 1. He had a voice leadership perspective. Malcolm X was episode 2. He had a royalty leadership perspective. And we're going to talk about today, Shirley Chisholm. So you see I got the art here. We got the Black Women Been Excellent merch. This is merch. You can get on the website. Link in the bio. Link is in the bio. All right. You can check that out. Go copy you some merch. But we talking about Shirley. Woo, I messed that up. Shirley Chisholm today. All right. The great, illustrious Shirley Chisholm. If you don't know who she is, you're going to learn today. All right, you're going to learn a lot about her. We're going to talk about her kind of biography, give you some details on who she was, and then we're going to talk about her as a leader and her leadership perspective, okay? So that's how we working today. I'm so glad you joined us for the ladder today. It's going to be a good one. So let's jump into it. Who was Shirley Chisholm? She was this dynamo, right? She was an immigrant from Barbados, or her parents were immigrants from Barbados. She from New York. That's how I got to fit it on. You know what I'm saying? We repping. I'm not from New York, but Shirley is, and so we repping. She was born in New York, was a brilliant child. They talk about her being in a debate team and being one of the best debaters in the country and in the state. And one of her teachers is so interesting. One of her teachers was like, you need to go into politics because you're so good at this. You would be great at politics. And at the time, this is like the early 40s, 30s and 40s. She was like, nah, that don't sound like something I should go into. And she said she would be a double minority. And so she was facing a double barrier because she was a woman and an African American. So she was like, there's 2 things against me if I go into that field. So I'm cool. I'm not going to do that. So Instead, she went into education. She went to early childhood education. She ended up getting a master's in early childhood education, and she began working with a lot of the child care things in New York. She ended up on the board as a consultant for the New York State Child Care, where she really fought against wealth gaps and racial gaps in New York for children. And she kind of got pushed into politics because of the work she was doing already. So she was lobbying people. She was in the rooms with people who make legislation, because she was an advocate for these babies, for the kids. And so eventually she gets pushed into politics because she's like, hey, so much stuff need to get done. I'm about to go get it done. And so she gets on, she's the first African American person on a New York State legislator. So she gets on the legislation, and then they realign the political boundaries of New York to where there's become this super democratic, I guess, primary county area. And she's like, I'm gonna go run for Congress. Mind you, there had never been an African American woman in Congress. She was like, I don't care about none of that. She went and ran. She wins. She becomes the first African American woman in Congress, in the state of New York. And so she goes crazy. And when she gets into Congress, she starts getting so much stuff done. In New York, she's fighting for everybody. She is about her business. She's standing on business, all right, in Congress every day. So much so that she decides, I'm gonna run for president. Mind you, no African American had ever run for president on the two major parties. So no black person, woman or man, had attempted to get the Democratic vote or the Republican vote. They all had come from smaller political parties or started political parties to run. Shirley was like, nope, I'm a Democratic representative. I'm running for the Democratic nomination for president. It's so crazy because at the time, because not only she was black, but she was a woman, they banned her from public debate. And so there's the different presidential candidates. Y'all know how it is today. They get to go on TV and debate so that people know where they stand and what they're talking about. They had banned her. She fought against it. And eventually she got it changed where she was able to do one speech, not a debate. She was able to do one speech publicly. But that being said, her campaign was underfunded. They kept her from the public's eye, yet still she did grassroots and she was about her action. She got 10% of the Democratic caucus vote for president with no money and no exposure. So she was fire. She didn't, of course, she only got 10%. She didn't win the nomination, but that didn't stop her from working in Congress and still doing a lot of the amazing things she did. Shirley was so interesting. If you see her picture, she always got this big hair, and she looked like she on that time, cause she is. One of her nicknames from being in Congress was Fighting Shirley, cause she was in there. I'm talking about going toe to toe with these men every day about this legislation. She passed over 50 pieces of legislation for New York and the country that was aimed at gender gap, racial gap, income inequality, different industries that were just biased towards people. She was able to really, really make a difference. I don't know if you remember, we talked about Martin and Malcolm and their ability to get things passed. And we talked about how Martin did a little bit more than Malcolm. Shirley exceeded both of them as far as what she actually got put into law that affected her people and the people she fought for. And so she wrote a book, and I love her book title because I don't think there's a more black woman book title than Shirley Chisholm's biography. It is called Unbought and Unbossed. And I think that is the most black woman book title ever. Like, you can't buy me and you can't tell me what to do. And that's what she was about. She really, really did not fit into the political system the way that people lobby. And we see it today, how corrupt a lot of stuff is because of money, because of people trying to get in where they fit in, so they listen to people, let people tell them what to do. Shirley didn't fit into none of that. She said, I'm going to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and who I want to do it for, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing that you can do to change it because my people need me, and they know they need me, right? And so they kept voting her back in because she was getting so much stuff passed for them that benefited them. And so Shirley Chisholm is the leader for today. I think I was blown away when I was researching, getting ready for today. I was looking for a hero leader. Oh, it slipped. Hey, I was looking for a leader that fit into this perspective, and I wanted to make sure I made it a different dynamic than Martin and Malcolm. And so I found Shirley, and I think she fits perfectly with what is a hero leader. I'm gonna give it to y'all. If y'all, it is what it is. It's looking for someone who's a hero leader, and Shirley fit perfectly into that. Hero leaders are about action, right? They're not so much concerned with red tape. They're not so much concerned with groupthink or with developing a culture. They are more concerned with there are gaps, there are opportunities for improvement, and I will fill those gaps. So I'm not worried about building this team or doing this. I'm worried about getting stuff done that's going to change the lives of people that need it. And that's what she did. She did start the National Women's Political Caucus, and what that was about was creating a political party, powerful party that would help women find their voice in politics. And so the reason she did it is because she saw that her being a politician herself, that there was a need. And too often, I think as leaders, and especially when we're leaders within huge organizations or huge systems or machines, we get caught up in the machine. We get caught up in going through the hierarchy and going through the red tape and playing the game. But hero leaders ain't about that. Hero leaders stand out in that regard where they are kind of motivated purely by the ideals that there's something that needs to be done. And the next step isn't let me find people to do it with, let me find a system to create that gets it. The next step is let me go do it. And that's what Shirley was about, fighting Shirley, who was unbought and unbossed. She was about getting stuff done. And think about her getting stuff done within the major political parties, within Congress. We see Congress today, and she was getting stuff done because that's what hero leaders do. And it's an exciting. These are exciting leaders to be around because they are so action based. And so let me run off some of the strengths of hero leaders. We talk about some of the weaknesses. We're going to talk about what that would look like today, right? And then I have a message to my hero leaders at the end. So make sure you stay tuned through the end, okay? So strengths of hero leaders. They don't require a lot of instructions, right? Hero leaders, you put them into a situation that things need to be done, they start finding things to do. Like they are really good at finding things to do, and they're really good at getting those things done. They're effective in that and efficient because they don't need a lot of buy-in from other supporters or other peers. They just go out and work. All right, so that's definitely a strength of the hero. Second strength of the heroes is they are altruistic. They're all about helping other people. So it's not just like they're going to get stuff done that benefits them, but they're going to get stuff done to benefit other people. They're really focused on protecting their community, and they're really focused on how can they impact their community every single day. So every single day they're trying to do something that impacts their community in a positive way, and they feel like it is their burden, right? They feel burdened in that sense to protect their community and to help other people that may not necessarily be in a place to help themselves, okay? These are some of the things that hero leaders are known for, and this is really where they shine. Now, what are some of the weaknesses of hero leaders you might add? Or worship in the sense where if you are around a hero leader because you know they will get stuff done, you kind of become complacent. And you don't know that there's things that you could do to help, or there's things that you should be doing. And sometimes they won't even tell you because they just see things that need to be done and they go do it. Instead of delegating and allowing you and others to kind of fill in gaps, they try to be all things to all people at all times. And that can force people to become complacent and kind of limit the scope and the impact as far as the width is concerned with a particular movement. So those are the good and bad of hero leaders. So now we done talked about Shirley, talked about her leadership perspective, right? So now we got to talk about what she would look like today, because I think that's super interesting in the political environment we're in today. I think Shirley, I don't know, people might not like this, dog. Uh, she might be like Candace Owens. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people might not like that. But well, the reason I say she like Candace Owens is one of the few black women with major influence in the top two political party. She has a huge platform and she gets stuff done. Like, regardless of what you feel about her, as far as her what she stands for and things like that, I think her political influence and platform is very similar to what Shirley Chisholm would have today, right? Like maybe a little more than Candace, because Shirley did run for president, and Candace ain't never ever gonna run for president. So maybe a little more than Candace, but something very similar. And I don't know. I think that's interesting to think about when we look back on Shirley Chisholm. Like we look at her as far as like Black history is concerned, and she's a pioneer. I think sometimes when we have these pioneers and we try to bring them to today, we forget that times is very different as far as what your influence yields and what that looks like. And so, yes, I think Shirley got a lot of stuff done. And so Shirley, she probably would have been in Congress, not necessarily seated like Candace is. Candace has like an office, appointed office. She's not necessarily uh, in Congress. So Shirley might be in Congress, but I'm sorry, as far as like her political influence, I think it'd be a lot like Candace Owens. Candace Owens yields a ton of political influence. And so I think when you think about Shirley Chisholm in a way where you put her into today's lens and in today's like environment, I think she would have a huge platform, and I think she would be highly polarizing. They call her Fighting Shirley for a reason, right? Like she was about that action, and she didn't back down from nobody, and so she wouldn't be playing like this uh politics where she would be trying to like make everybody, she wasn't trying to make no friends. She was just trying to get stuff done. And so I think it would be a lot of people that didn't really rock with Shirley on black and white people, you know what I'm saying, who didn't really rock with her today if she was today, because she would say stuff that she believed. And she ain't really care if it's politically correct or none of that. And she gonna say what she believe, and for the people she representing, she gonna go to war for them. And so I think she would be super dope today. Um I think she's like when I think about like her what her influence today would be, I think would be like halfway ground between Malcolm and Martin, right? Like I think Malcolm was a lot more, or Martin, excuse me, was a lot more placating to other people who didn't agree with them. Malcolm was a lot more polarizing. I think Shirley would kind of end up in the middle as a politician. She would have to play some of them games, but she wasn't playing a lot of them. And so I think she would kind of end up in the middle as far as what her influence will look like today. And so now I want to ask you, you want to say the question we ask every episode: would you follow Shirley Chisholm today? And I don't mean, and this, I guess I gotta start clarifying. I don't mean like Instagram follow, see what I mean. Like, would you, take part of her platform, and like would she represent you as a leader today if she was around? Um for me, I think I would rock with Shirley. Like I think, you know what I'm saying? Like Shirley about that life, I'm about that life too. So I think I would rock with Shirley. If she had a platform today, I would be very interested and like comparing her political beliefs with some of the things that are in today's political climate to see kind of where she was on, if where she was at on some of it. But I think just in general, I really like what she stood for, and how she went about yielding her influence. So I think I would 100% be a Shirley Chisholm fan. I probably have a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? I'll be talking to people on the internet about her, stuff like that. I would vote for her. Yeah. I get out. I'll vote for Shirley. She could be my president any day. Over Biden and Trump? Man, please. I'll vote for Shirley. So yeah, that's me. I think that Shirley Chisholm is fire. And when you read about her and all the things, all the barriers she was able to break and things like that, as a trailblazer, as a black woman, and I love black women. Hashtag love black women for sure. Protect black women. You know what it is. Run it up. Share it with your auntie. All right. But yeah, I would rock with Shirley. That's kind of where I'm at. Now leave a comment. Let me know what you think, where you are on that. I'm interested to see where you are. If you know like some of the things she believed politically, Drop it in the comments because I'm not super versed on that. I would love to learn some of the things that she stood for. She passed, like I think I said earlier, she passed like over 50 laws. Like, so she was standing on business. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see kind of what those kind of views and things was, because maybe I'll change my mind if she was out there on some crazy stuff. And now I want to give an encouraging word to my hero leaders. Okay, so hero leaders, hear me out. You are so important to anything, whatever organization, team, system, family that you're a part of. You are vital to the success and to the health of that particular organism, because too often, as leaders especially, we get caught up in meeting rooms. We get caught up in emails. We get caught up in Google documents and drives, and we forget that even though we can design and create work, we need people to do it. And we need leaders in the field, boots on the ground, getting stuff done, because that's the most important part about leadership. That is the most important part about leadership. It's not only creating systems, it's not only being on a podium to speak, but the best leaders get stuff done. And heroes, you do that naturally, you do that well, and you do that without a second thought. And so I will encourage you in that. I want to give you a little insight. Take care of yourselves though. Like voice leaders, you can become burnt out really quickly because you're going. Remember, you do not only need to do for others, but you need to do for yourself. So you need to take time to have self-care. You need to take time to spend with your family. You need to take time to look out for you, because there is going to be more for you to do in the future. And if you're not well, if you're not healthy, you can't do it. Okay? So I want to encourage you that you are vitally important to what we're trying to do here and on this earth, as far as changing for the better. But we need you on earth to do that. Okay? Keep going. Run till your battery empty. Take some time, recharge, and then go full blast again, because you are super important. And I got love for my hero leaders out there. I really, really, really love working with hero leaders, love being around hero leaders. They are inspiring because they seem like they got so much energy, and they just going. And I just want to say, man, we can't make no change without you. We can't make no change without you. So keep doing what you're doing, my hero leaders. Hey, you got love at the Hope Institute, and never forget that as part of Crew Excellence, you are one of the most important factors and key members, and so we appreciate you. All right, man, this has been a good one. I hope that you have gotten something. To all my hero leaders out there, drop it in the comments. I am a hero leader. I want to see how many we got out there. I got a theory, right? I've done this around the country so far. I've been to different places talking about different leadership perspectives. And almost always, except for one place, there is way more voice leaders, royalty leaders, and guru leaders than heroes. Like, it's always, heroes always my smallest group, right? But y'all be getting stuff done. And so I want to see in the comments, I'm going to compare it to the other week. How many hero leaders do we have? Okay. And I can't wait till episode 4, man. Like, this is setting up where we going with this mug, but I'm excited to get through it. And so we can really get to rolling. And I'm super, super grateful, humble to be on this journey with y'all. As your favorite Crew Excellence member, man, I love Crew Excellence, man. We be out there being excellent every day, and that's a dope thing. And so until next time, I hope that you're safe. I hope that your leadership expands, that you have opportunities to be excellent. And I can't wait till episode 4 till you come back. You know what I'm saying? And invite your friend next time, and they friend and they friend. We trying to grow this thing. It's a movement that you are a part of. And so until next time, I'm your favorite Crew Excellence member, the hostess with the mostest, Justin Strickland, and I'm out, man. Peace.